Hi there everybody, and welcome to another video. In today's video I have this Audi A4. This is a 2011 petrol automatic, the TFSI. I'm gonna be changing the oil and the oil filter in it. And to start, I'm just going to open the oil filler cap here, and also I'm going to take this cover out just by pulling it up. And that gives us access to the oil filter that's sitting there. So this is the replacement filter I got, OC456. Now we need a key to remove this filter, one that fits this. So the wrench that we need for that, it's this one here, this socket. It's a 7614. That should fit there. The filter shouldn't be too tight anyway, because usually gets tightened by hand, but as the year goes by it kind of gets a little bit harder to remove, and also try to remove it slowly, because there probably would be some oil in there, and rather the oil drains down than come out the sides and make a mess there. So if you just open it slowly, we hopefully avoid any mess. I can see a little bit of oil coming out there already, so that's why just take your time. You can also even maybe put a little bit of rag in there or some paper, so it doesn't mess up the whole side of the car. So I may put some myself, just to avoid hours of cleaning later. But just want to, if you see a little bit of oil coming out, because we just want to allow a little bit of air to go in there, so the oil can drain down. I'm gonna put a little bit more paper there. Okay, so with a little bit of patience and a bit of paper down there, when you see a little bit of oil coming out the side, just leave it there for a little while. It should slowly empty. So that will save you. If you just remove it quickly, you will have a lot of oil going down. I also took these out just temporarily, also to allow some air to go in through there. There's supposed to be, well, technically you have a dipstick there, but in this car there's no dipstick. Okay, there's the filter. So if you have a little bit of extra time, then you can leave it there for a little bit longer, so it completely drains out and you avoid any oil leaking. But now I can take my bits of paper out, also wipe around the surface there. Make sure it's nice and clean. So I wasn't extremely patient, so I got a little bit of oil coming out the side, but luckily not too much. But obviously that means spending extra time cleaning, so to avoid that, like I said, once you open these, let it run down before you remove it. Okay, so we have this off, have that little cover off, that just pulls out, and now I'm gonna get the car up, drain the oil from underneath. Just one more thing before I get the car up. If you're working outside, in order to prevent any dust or leaves or anything going in there, just cover it up with a bit of rag or something. In the meantime, also make sure nothing goes in here. And if you take this cover out completely, again, cover this with something so you don't get anything going in there. Apart from that, there's nothing else we need to do here. So I'll get the car up. Okay, so looking at the car from underneath, we just need to remove this cover here. I already removed these Phillips screws. They're just all around there, one there, here, there, and there. All of those come out. These three here, they usually tend to remain in there. So they have these washers on the other side that sort of keep them in place. And then you can just pull the cover out. That will reveal your sump here and sump plug bolt right there. So we're gonna get an oil pan to catch the oil and open that. Okay, 19mm socket. Gonna get that open. Hopefully it's not too tight. It shouldn't really be. And we can drain that oil. And another thing just to remember, if the engine's been running for a long time before you did the service, then that oil can be very hot. So just be careful not to burn yourself when you actually take it out. Okay, now we're gonna let it drain, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and then we'll come back, try to get a new washer as well. Okay, so I have a new copper washer there. Fit that in there. And if you need to know the size of this copper washer, it's this one here, 14 by 20 by 1.5. So that's that. And I'm still waiting for the oil to drain, so I'll get back to it. Okay, it has been dripping for some time, so I'm ready to fit my sump plug bolt back in there. And we also want to keep things clean. And we can close that. As you can see, somebody marked this bolt with some T-picks. Most likely as a guide as to how much to tighten these. So, but as a rule, I mean, we don't really tighten these too much. We just want to create a bit of a seal between the bolt, the sump, and the copper washer there. So you can see this mark needs to be a little bit more in line there, That's it. So that kind of force isn't that much. It's 30 Newton meters or so. So don't over tighten that. You don't want to damage your sump, the thread or anything, otherwise your simple oil change becomes a nightmare. So just make sure you don't over tighten that. Anyway, now I'm going to fit the cover down here, and we can lower the car and put some oil and make sure this area is nice and clean. Okay, time to put our filter back on. Just put it by hand, 20 Newton meters it says. So we don't need to use a tool for this. Okay, let's get that back in there. Just make sure it sits on properly. And now we can put some oil. So this engine is a 2 liter. As I said, the TFSI. So the 2 liter here, this is the 132 kilowatt one and the 155 kilowatt one. They both take approximately 4.6 liters. If you have the diesel or other engine sizes, the 3.2 6-cylinder takes 6.2. The TDI here takes 5 liters. So I have the 2 liter. I think I have this one here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 4.6 liters of oil in there. I'm using, by the way, 5W30. You can also check the oil type that you can use on your manual. So I'm gonna have a look in a minute. So we can see here it says type of oil, petrol engines AC EA888 or API SM standard, and diesel engines ACEA C3 or API CF standard. That's the types of oil recommended. We also have the long life here, and those are VW part numbers, the oil that they use. So anyway, I'm gonna put some oil in there now, and then we're gonna fit all these back. Okay, so I'm pretty much at my 4.6 there. Now I'll close that, cover there, and we can fit this back as well. That's it. It just plugs in there, like so. And we're pretty much done here. So now I'm going to start the car. Just make sure everything is running okay. So all is good in here. It's service due. I have to reset that as well. May do that on another video. And that's it. Just a quick overlook here. Make sure there's no oil coming out. But pretty much we're done here. So I hope this video helps. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.